Hello, good evening. How are you guys doing? Hope everyone is well. I hope everyone is having an incredible moment and incredible time. I'm not going to hold you because I know your time is valuable. And anytime you take the time out to watch a video on social media, you're taking time out of your day and out of your work. And so I appreciate that. And so I appreciate those who find that our broadcasts are meaningful. So I really want to celebrate you because you don't have to do it. And with the plethora of Facebook Live individuals, for you to take the time out to say, I want to listen to her or listen to him or listen to them is very appreciative. And I hope you're getting something out of it, not just information, but inspiration and power for your life, not just to feel good, but the unction to continue to put yourself in prosperous and responsible situations and to get the best result out of that. And so I appreciate you doing that. I just wanted to talk about intelligence and being smart and clever. And there was this story that Jesus talked about, this master teacher, Jesus Christ, the Christ consciousness. And he talked about this story in chapter Luke. And what caught me is verse 8 when he said that the children of this world are more shrewd in their dealings with one another than the children of light. And that caught me. We've seen this. And I began to look up shrewd, and the word shrewd has so many definitions, but one definition that stood out to me is astute. And the meaning of astute is to accurately assess situations and people to turn it to one's advantage, which means it's very discerning, has a clear understanding, it understands temperaments and flows and atmospheres and rhythms, that we're not just hook 'em aside and just thinking God, but we understand people, flows, atmospheres, and rhythms. We solve problems. There is a wit. One definition to shrewd is witty and canny and smart and intelligent and discerning and clever. And another definition was having a ready insight for every situation. Having an insight, being a student of atmospheres. He says that the children of the world are shrewd. They're very smart. They're very smart. They understand things. They're not emotionally driven, but they understand things. They're smart. They know what the atmosphere or the situation is looking for. And I'm finding out, even in our ability of being sons of God and being in kingdom and being representatives of spiritual matters, at how cheap we look at spiritual matters. Because when you look at the kingdom or spiritual matters as cheap, people will react cheaply toward it. We'll say we're going to do things and we don't do it. We pledge and don't invest. We say we're going to do. We live on flattery for the moment, but we're not smart. Raise your hand if you understand what I'm saying. We like to feel good for the moment. We make promises that we're afraid to keep. We hate study. We don't want to be uncomfortable. We hate inconvenience. We want osmosis, magic. No responsibility. God's going to do it. Let me pray hard. He knows my heart. He knows my heart. But Jesus said that the children of the world, they just don't know the heart. They know the rhythm. So we say, God knows my heart. He knows I don't want to do it. He knows I'm afraid. He knows my heart. God knows my heart. And we act cheaply with spiritual things. And the kingdom is a very expensive treasure. It's not a casual discovery. It's a very expensive. Let me hear you say it. I won't be on here long. The kingdom is a very expensive treasure. And I'm not talking about salvation and going to church and the prayer. No, the kingdom, the consciousness, the reality, the unction, the mentality, not the salvation or the thank you God. But the kingdom. It's a very expensive find, and your behavior reacts, or your behavior reflects the value of what you find. If you find something expensive, your behavior will become expensive. It's not saying you're just going to want BMWs and Mercedes and Range Rovers and stuff like this. No, it's not just talking about external value, but the way that you discover a thing will reveal how you behave toward a thing. And usually when people treat these discoveries in a cheap manner, we're going to act cheaply. You understand what I'm saying? And see, what I mean by cheap manner is, are you guys following me? What I mean by cheap manner is, in the world, not just in the sinful world, but in life, people are smart, they're intelligent, they're not driven by if you looked at me wrong. See, in certain areas of spirituality, if people talk hard, they're bad. I don't like his attitude. I don't like what she said. Because it's a cheap find, to the point that everybody's emotion will make you leave a church. It'll make you leave home. Because I don't like what he said. I don't like what she said. I don't want to go back. Because if you have God, you talk like this. If you got God in your heart, you wouldn't talk like that. You talk like this. But at work, you'll stay at your job and people are cussing and throwing stuff. You understand what I'm saying? It's like the kingdom has been a cheap find to most people, till when it's something that's adamant and smart and intelligent and powerful, it offends us because we've discovered something cheaply in our heart, to the point when we find people who are professional in their life and in their understanding, it offends us because it doesn't look spiritual. Because I believe we feel that spiritual is fluffy, considerate, not demanding. It's just understanding, non-judgmental, don't say nothing. Everybody's... No. Jesus said that the children of the world are shrewd. And it had definitions like astute and perspicacious, which is discerning and witty and clever. Clever. Let me hear you say clever, which means I understand, which means I have an answer for everything. Audrey, Yvette, Jason, Bridget, Steve, all of you who join me, Darren, I have an answer for it. I know what's going on. And some people in spirituality are offended at people who seemingly have an answer for everything. Oh, everybody's deep. You don't have to be so deep. No, when you have an understanding, it's like I know how to plan. I know what to say. It's not a matter of wanting to be seen. It's a matter of I desire to solve it. Jesus said that the children of this world solves problems better than the children of the light. They're clever. They have manners. They have wit. They have skills. They know what to do. They know how to assess situations. How many of you on here, and I'm not going to be in here long, how many of you over here have mastered the art of assessment? This situation looks like it's calling for this, because that's where your worth is discovered, in how well you could assess a situation. And when you solve incredible in-depth problems, you get paid incredible in-depth money. You can command major investments based on the problems you fix and solve. Raise your hands if you understand. Jesus said the children of this world know what they are doing. And Audrey, it's like we're offended if you didn't look at me right. That means you've discovered something cheap. When you're easily offendable at the professionalism or the skill of people who are focused on a vision, when we become offended at someone's mastery, it means we bought something very cheap. Because if your face or your adamancy or your focus or your care for something, there are some of us who care about things greater than other people. So our attitude toward it is going to be greater than those who treat it casually. But the casual folks are always offended. They're always offended, Sator. They're always offended at the master. Jesus Christ now said the children of this world are more astute. They're sound. They understand rhythm in people. They know how to work it for their advantage. They know how to get what they need out of it by assessing the people and the situations. They know how to play chess with the atmosphere. How many of you know how to play chess with the universe? You know how to play, and it's not manipulation, because see, some folks in light will say that's manipulation. No, it's being smart. It's not manipulation, it's being an architect of destiny. How many of you right now are architects of destiny? You're architects of mysteries. See, in light, sometimes the children of the light, we think of everything as being godly and fresh and peaceful and not offensive. But there are some things in mastery that will offend your procrastination. It will offend your need for excuse. It will offend your laziness and your ability to forget. There are some things that masters will offend in you. They will offend your casualness. They will offend your inability to see. They will offend your cheating. They will offend it. They will offend you wanting things by osmosis. Let me just pray and it appear. It will not appear if you just pray. No. He said they're astute. They're smart. More than the children of the light, which means the children of the light, which is us. We should be astute. We should be clever. We should be witty. We should be creative, intense, not just creative, making banners and putting things up at the church for the event and for the musical. But we should be able to take control of the atmosphere and universal frequency, which means thought and understanding and creativity. We should be astute, witty, inventive, understanding, architects of the universe, knowing how to build and not just how to preach. Because sometimes we feel because we're children of the light, we should know how to preach, but you should know how to reach. You should know how to not just preach, but reach, and not just the lost, but those who are hidden from themselves. Not just lost, not just held bound, but those who are living and are bound to blindness to their own identity. We must release brilliance. We must be people of brilliance, not just gold-colored pictures at the altar, not having gold pulpits, and we call that excellence. No. We should be masters of time. We should be controllers of time and understanding. We should not be casual, because the kingdom is an expensive find. And when you discover something expensive, it makes your behavior expensive. When you discover something that's casual, your behavior is casual. All of the depth of our attitude is based on what we found in our heart. If you found something incredible in your heart, it will reflect itself through your personality. If you found something cheap, it's going to show through your personality and how you move towards things. I didn't find nothing cheap, guys. I found something very expensive. Now, you could drive a car with one wheel, but if you discover something expensive, everybody forget they will not see the other three wheels that are missing on your car. When you discover something expensive in your consciousness, people will be so drawn. What's going on, Brian and Dana? People will become so drawn to what you discovered that they will forget that your car only have one wheel. I know that to be true. Now, my car has all four tires on. Before, it used to have like three and one tire. It used to a long time ago. It had like one tire. And that wasn't even my tire. I took that off of Bridget's car. It was one time my car only had one tire, and I took it off of Bridget's. But you understand, and she had three tires, and I had two. All right, but you got the gist of what I'm talking about. You see what I'm talking about? Witty, smart, astute. And before I get off this call, how many of you are astute? Which means I accurately assess rhythms in people, and I know how to work it for my purpose. Jesus commended them because we're afraid to talk. We are so shielded in ourselves that if people look at us funny,